There we go. Welcome to your practice. It is Thursday, December 11th. My, this month is going by. I'm so grateful that we are spending time in this way. Just a heads up, I have to run to the dentist immediately after yoga. So after class closes, I'm just going to go ahead and close this down and hit the road to Virginia Beach. So, all right, let's go ahead and come into an easy seat. And sitting tall, we can roll the shoulders up, back and down, maybe even doing that a couple of times, maybe swaying a little bit. We'll just settle into stillness for a moment or so. And then softening the gaze or closing the eyes. Our quote today comes from John Muir. When we try to pick out anything by itself, we find it hitched to everything else in the universe. When one tugs at a single thing in nature, he finds it attached to the rest of the world. This month, studying Ishvara Pranidhana, connection to something greater than us, devotion to divinity. When we try to pick out anything by itself, we find it hitched to everything else in the universe. When one tugs at a single thing in nature, he finds it attached to the rest of the world. So embodying that with our breath, we breathe in what's been given to us by nature, by trees, oxygen here into our bodies. We breathe out carbon dioxide. Trees use that to give us more oxygen. We're part of this continuous cycle. A couple more breaths here. And keeping the belly soft, imagine that you could send your breath all the way down into your hips and low back. One more breath, imagining guiding it all the way down and back. Good. Now hands on knees, draw some big circles. Inhale, leaning forward. Exhale, coming back. Inhaling forward, exhaling back. For folks who joined after I say it, just a heads up, right after Shavasana and we close, I'm just going to go ahead and close down the room so I can get back to my periodontist. Make sure my gum graft is healing well. Adulthood is so silly. All right, switching directions. We're breathing, inhaling forward, exhaling back. All right, then let's all see if we can cross our legs with the right leg in front. I know some of us with our knees, maybe we can't do this, so just work with what you've got. We'll sit up tall and bring your hands to the ground in front of you. And if that's a stretch or a strain rather, we could bring the hands to blocks or anything that might prop you up. So we are extending our spine, sitting up really tall, and leaning forward. Of course, if anything hurts or doesn't feel right, just don't do it. You might slowly sway, looking for a stretch in the outer right hip. And so starting with the spine long, heart lifted. And then we can slowly explore rounding the spine, noticing how that changes our experience, what we're feeling. A few more breaths. And then we'll sit up tall. So we've been folded forward. Now let's take a little twist to the right and fold over that way. So again, we could start by lifting the heart, keeping the spine long, leaning over to the right side. And then you could round your spine. A couple more breaths here. Notice where you feel stretch and sensation. So maybe still in the right hip, but maybe also now in the kind of left low back area. We could even walk the left fingertips away from us. Good, and sit up tall. Switch your legs. So now the left leg will be folded in front. Again, if you want to use blocks, fingertips to the ground or blocks in front of you, lift your heart, lean forward. Now looking to stretch into the left outer hip area. And then you could round your spine, see how that feels. Try dropping the head heavy. So just like that quote about our interconnectedness with nature, with the world around us, under our skin, it's definitely all connected. So when you drop your head, that's pulling on the connective tissue all along the back body. Another breath, and then we will sit ourselves up and take a little twist to the left and fold over that way. So starting with the heart lifted, leaning over to your left side. And then round the spine. A few more breaths. You could walk the right fingertips away from you. And we'll come upright. All right, moving the blocks towards the top of the mat if you were using them. Feet coming to the ground, hands back behind you, puffing up the chest, and letting your legs fall side to side. So getting a twist through the spine, a little bit of movement in the hips. Feet on the ground, try crossing the right leg over the left. Taking a little figure 4 here, sitting up tall. Adjust the leg so it feels like it's in the right place. Maybe walk the left foot a little closer to you or scoot your hips closer to it. Give it another breath. And then we'll just unwind and switch sides, just passing through here. Left leg crossed over the right. Bit of a figure 4 stretch and breathe. If the wrists aren't into this, you could also lower down to the forearms and elbows. We'll just be here a couple more breaths. All right, let's go ahead and release that and come all the way into tabletop. As soon as you get to tabletop, we'll go ahead and find down dog. As you make your way to down dog, we can shake out the head, let it get really heavy. Sway the hips side to side. Good, and then pausing in stillness in down dog. Give yourself a couple breaths. Remembering that the heels of the hands can be light, the head can be heavy. Heels of the feet stretching down towards the ground, however far they get, they get. All right, then walk or hop yourself up to the top of the mat, forward fold. Grab opposite elbows and give it a little sway, a couple breaths here. And then slowly make your way all the way upright. You can roll up if that feels good. You can reverse swan dive, reaching to the sky, give it a big, big stretch. And then bring your hands down to your heart, pausing for a couple of breaths, letting yourself recalibrate upright now. And let's think of something that we're grateful for while we are here. Breathing in, let's reach out and up. Breathing out, fold all the way down. Do a half sun salutation. So inhale, lift halfway. On your exhale, fold back down. On your inhale, rise all the way up, stretching to the sky. Exhale, hands to your heart, and then arms down, mountain pose. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold down. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold down. Inhale, rise all the way up. Exhale, hands to your heart. This time come down into chair pose also. So sitting the hips back and down. Engage the glutes, engage the thighs. Take another breath, maybe sink a little bit lower. And then mountain pose, stand tall. Good, again, we reach up, breathing in. Breathe out, fold down. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold down. Inhale, rise all the way up. Exhale, hands to your heart, chair pose. Breathing here, let's shift the weight into the left leg. See if you can lift the right foot off of the ground. Maybe the toes stay connected, maybe you lift the foot. And then set the right foot down, switch sides. Breathing. And then left foot sets down, mountain pose, take a breath. Turn to face the long edge of your mat or just take a wide stance, whatever works for you in your space. Hands to your hips. Inhale to lift up the heart. Maybe you lift up your face, looking up. On an exhale, lead with the heart folding all the way down. And then you can move your hands to your low back or interlace your fingers and lift the knuckles up towards the sky. Wide leg forward fold. If you'd prefer to bring your hands to the ground, that's perfectly fine too. Notice that we just want to feel a stretch on the backs of the legs. We don't have to force the legs to be straight to get that. You could even bring your hands to the hamstrings, the backs of your thighs, and strum them, give them a little massage. One more breath in your wide leg forward fold. And then we'll slowly bend the left leg, shifting the hips over to the left. Engage your left gluteal muscles, so give it a squeeze and then straighten the left leg and bend the right leg. And push into the right foot, coming back to center. Go ahead and rise all the way up, reaching your arms out and up. Big stretch like a starfish. As you exhale, pivot on the right heel. Let's come into warrior two. Arms parallel to the ground, opening out wide. We can roll the wrists. And then let's flow through reverse warrior and extended side angle. So inhale, right arm up and back. Exhale, cartwheel the arms off to the right side. And move at your own pace. Keep switching between these. Of course, if something feels really good and you want to linger, you can always do that. All right, the next time you come to extended side angle, so arms cartwheeling off to the right side, let's pause there. And if the right elbow is on the right thigh, maybe try straightening that right arm. See if you can slide the fingertips down towards the ground, or I love to grab a block here. Really stretch the left arm actively alongside your ear. So we've been bending into the right leg. Now let's try straightening the right leg, coming in to a wide triangle. You could lift the left arm up towards the sky, looking down towards the right hand or up towards the left hand. Another breath, and then let's bend into the right leg. If you enjoyed using the block, then go ahead and keep it with you as you come back up to warrior two. And then we'll switch sides. You can pivot on your left heel now. Switch the block to being by that left foot if you're going to use it. And then warrior two. So now bending into the left leg, looking over the left arm, maybe circling the wrists. And starting to flow. Inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale, extended side angle. Moving with the breath. Good, a couple more times, and then we will settle in here in a moment. So the next time you find yourself in extended side angle with the arms cartwheel off to the left side, let's go ahead and pause there. Bending into the left leg, your right arm is stretching alongside your head like we're reaching for something. And then try straightening the left arm. See if you can slide the left hand down towards the ground. Sometimes I like to grab onto my ankle or rest it on the top of the foot, or of course use a block. Breathe. Slow motion, straighten that left leg into a Trikonasana triangle pose. You might move the arm to be reaching up towards the sky, and you might rotate your head to look up towards that right thumb. Couple more breaths. Let them be slow and intentional. And then we'll bend into the left leg, return to warrior two. I'm just going to toss my block back up to the top of the mat. And then pivot on your left heel. So now our toes are pointing forward. Now pivot the heels in, bend the knees, hands to thighs, lean forward. You might shift your weight side to side here, stretching groin muscles, inner thighs. And then let's dip one shoulder in towards the center and the other, switching side to side. Excellent. Come on up, and if you want, take a hop to bring the legs together. We'll take a little flow and then move back down to the mat. So on an inhale, big stretch up. Exhale, fold all the way down. Inhaling, halfway lift. Exhaling, fold down. Breathing in, rise all the way up. Breathing out, hands to heart, and then mountain pose. Let's go ahead and come back down to the mat. If you have a folded blanket, you're welcome to sit on that. Certainly not required. Mine has wandered away. Okay, so then let's stretch the right leg out, keeping the left leg bent. And you do have options here. Darren, this will be a repeat from last night's class, so we can keep the leg folded in this way, or try folding it the opposite way. So having the foot to the outer left heel or foot to the inner groin. See which works for you and your knee. And you might also try different angles. So for me, if I'm bending the knee so that the foot is to the outside, it feels better on my knee to have it be a wider angle. So kind of pulling that leg out wide. All right, and then we'll fold over the right leg. A few slow breaths here. If anything's uncomfortable or becomes painful, of course, just stop it and don't do it. You could stay just how you are, or try stretching the left arm up and over. Good, you can stay here, or switch the angle a little bit. So folding more forwards. Notice how this changes what you're feeling in your right upper inner thigh. Maybe back in the hamstrings. Couple more breaths. And then let's sit ourselves up tall, and we'll switch legs. So now the left leg extends out long. Right leg either folds in or folds out. Remember, what works on one side might not work on the other, so honor your unique shape. And then we'll fold over the left leg once you get settled in. Give it a few breaths. And we could try stretching the right arm up and overhead, adding just a little bit more, or well, maybe a lot more pull through the connective tissue. Another breath here. And then we can start exploring different angles. So maybe folding forward. A few more full breaths. And then let's sit up tall. Stretch both legs long in front of you. Maybe give them a little bounce out. Lifting the heart, hinge forward. So at first we're going to keep the spine long. This puts more pressure on the backs of the on the hamstrings, the backs of the legs. Some people might be folded forward much more than me, so we're folding forward with the heart lifted. Good, and then try rounding the spine. Let the head drop. This puts more pressure or strain on kind of low back and mid back area. Give it another breath. And then let's sit up tall and roll all the way down to your back. Coming onto the back. When you get there, you can open the arms out wide or bend them like a cactus, or even put the hands behind the head. Let your legs slowly fall side to side, windshield wipers. Stretch the left leg long, hug the right leg in, big inhale. Exhale, take a twist, right leg coming over to the left side, just passing through for a breath. When you're ready, come back to center, switching sides, so right leg long, left leg hugging in, and then dropping over to the right side. And come back to center. If you've got space for it, maybe today you take your Shavasana rest with the arms stretched out up overhead, out wide. Legs coming out wide, so like a starfish, we rest on the ground. And feeling the waves of breath move through us. When we try to pick out anything by itself, we find it hitched to everything else in the universe. When one tugs at a single thing in nature, he finds it attached to the rest of the world. Giving yourself a big breath, a big stretch. And as you're ready, coming back up to an easy seat. As you're making your way upright, I'll say thank you to the folks who've made the switch already to our new platform on Heartbeat. I know there was a glitch with the emails, so I'll make sure that all that information is getting sent out. I'll also put it on our current website. Good things coming. All right, hands together at your heart, sitting tall. Offer yourself a bow of gratitude and acknowledgement for your efforts. Gratitude and acknowledgement to the teachers and teachings that have passed these down for thousands of years. If you'd like to chant Om, we'll take a big breath in. Have a wonderful day. Drink your water. I'll see you tomorrow. Thanks for being here.